Okay, MENOFITers, day 7. You're halfway there. Let's have a bit more of a check-in, and I'd love to see your comments below. How are you today? So we're halfway there. Let's have a little think about all the pillars that we are trying to get in place. So number 1 is increasing your daily activity, and we are giving you workouts every single day. Have you done them? Have you worked out every day? I know some of you come to classes with me elsewhere as well. You may go to other classes in addition. Don't expect you to do everything with me. But yeah, have you done the workouts that I've included on the MENOFIT? So we are aiming to work out every single day. Doesn't necessarily mean every day you have to do that full-on workout. We're talking mind body, we're talking stretching, we're talking going out for a walk even, but just increasing your daily activity levels. And the payoff is huge. So it will literally, the minute you start exercising, there's a release of hormones, a dopamine, serotonin. You will start to feel happier. You will feel in a much more positive mindset. You'll be able to make better decisions. You'll feel better about yourself. And so not only are you just helping yourself that day, but you're also helping with some of the symptoms that we actually have in menopause. So cognitively, you might be just feeling that little bit better. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fix everything in menopause, the brain fog. You might find you're still struggling with that, but really just making sure you've got all of these pillars in place will definitely help you to achieve a much better version of you, and therefore put you in a much stronger place to deal with everything else. So this isn't just for 14 days. We're halfway through, but this is just me guiding you through how to put these pillars in place forever. Okay, so this is not just 14 days, and we're not necessarily talking about always being in a calorie deficit every day. We're not necessarily talking about never having a snack again in your life. These are all unrealistic expectations. This is about being real. But for the most part, if you can increase your daily activity and if you can be hydrated. So are you having a drink of water when you get up in the morning, especially if night sweats is you? And also maybe a glass of water before you eat, just to help you with your appetite. Are you eating slowly, mindfully, minus your devices, minus distractions? Are you really, and this will help you. So any of you that are sort of still thinking, still not sure about my portion sizes, the thing is to make sure that you've got those 2 important things on your plate: the protein, which will make you feel satiated, and the green vegetables. They are fibrous, they expand in your gut and will leave you feeling full. Obviously, you then have your carbohydrate, your slither of healthy fats, but having those green vegetables and protein on your plate, you can't eat too much chicken, you can't eat too many vegetables. Whereas if you have got a packet of crisps in front of you, a sharing bag, or a packet of biscuits, you can easily keep eating those. Okay, so making sure you've got those on your plate will make sure that, and taking it slowly and just chewing your food, putting your knife and fork down, all of these things will make sure that you will stop eating when you feel full. Okay, so you know that you've had enough food. So all of those things are really necessary for good health that we want to practice forever. Okay, so let me know with the workouts, have you found some hard, some have you enjoyed some more than others? And remember that sort of feeling of, I don't really feel like doing this. How many times do you think about that before you go to a class? But how do you feel afterwards versus how you feel afterwards? It's massive, isn't it? You just feel so much better. You feel positive. You feel ready to tackle the day. So today, let's just take a little moment to make some notes about how you're feeling. So do you feel like you have improved since day 1 in terms of whether it's actually weight loss? Do you feel better? Do you feel more energetic? Do you feel less bloated? Do you feel less sluggish? Are you exploring different foods? Are you pepping up your meals with different spices, different herbs to just really stimulate your taste buds and avoid food boredom? And what else can I say to you? Yeah, today. So if you are, if you need that little bit of extra incentive and motivation, you can measure yourself. You might be somebody that does weigh themselves on the scales, or maybe you can take pictures, or maybe you can use an item of clothing that perhaps felt a little bit snug, but it's realistic that you could get into that. So maybe revisit that today, have a little look at that item of clothing, or sometimes you can just feel it, but sometimes you need that extra incentive to keep going by seeing the evidence of your hard work. And that might be in a photo, it might be how you feel in an outfit, it might be measurement scales, whatever you use and whatever works best for your psyche. Maybe set yourself some new goals this week. So really being aware of not just long-term goals that just feel like they're so far in the future they might not be achievable, but focus on some short-term goals. It might just be that perhaps your water wasn't quite there last week. Maybe you did have more than, maybe a bit more coffee than you should have, or that's healthy. Maybe you went to bed too late last week. So just little things like that you could just put yourself down as a goal to achieve next week. It doesn't have to be a result-based, I want to be a stone lighter. Obviously, that's not going to happen in a week. But yeah, that sort of thing. How are you doing with snacking? How are your stress levels feeling? How do you feel on an emotional level? And it's very easy in... especially as menopausal women, that we do get emotional, with hormones that are imbalanced. And with the hormones, it's not just a slow and steady decline. It goes up and down, it fluctuates. So you might have days where you feel on top of the world, and then other days where you just literally feel like you do not want to face anybody. And then what do you do to manage that? Are you turning to food? So can you replace some of those habits, and instead of turning to the biscuits, the glass of wine, whatever it is that's your guilty pleasure, can you replace that habit and distract yourself with a walk out in nature, a book, a Netflix series, and really just start to change? Now, I'm not saying, again, that this is always going to be the case. Every now and again, you're going to want to have that chocolate, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not saying, because I love chocolate, and I will have my chocolate, but I won't have it every single time I feel a little bit emotional or a little bit tired or a little bit stressed, because that would probably then mean I would have a fridge full of chocolate. So it's about just your thinking about your emotional and your stress. First of all, what are your triggers and how you can manage them better so that you avoid eating, snacking, going for the treats. And if it really is a struggle, maybe you just need to get them out of your kitchen or your house. Okay, so we've got 7 days. How are you? Let me know in the comments. Have you done your workouts? Which do you enjoy the most? Which do you find beneficial? Maybe there's some struggles. Have you got any questions? Is there anything that you would like me to cover in addition to what you can see on the lecture or talk timetable? So have a great day, gang, and I really look forward to doing the next week with you.